Hey, welcome to Games with Trev. I'm Monique, and this is Trev. And this week we're going to be reviewing Marvel Villainous, the new expansion called Twisted Ambitions.
This box brings 3 new characters to the Marvel Villainous world. They are King the Conqueror, Titania, Dr. Octopus, and I will refer to him as Doc Ock for the rest of the video, just to clear the confusion. But these guys are awesome. They're so much fun. The cool thing about Marvel Villainous, and for those that don't know what Marvel Villainous is, it is basically a spin-off of Disney Villainous. And it's a game where you play the villains in the stories, and you basically have to complete a task to win the game. And each villain has a different task to complete. We have seen in the previous expansions characters from Ultron to Loki to Thanos to Helena. But now it's time to add these 3 new ones in. We're going to kind of go over each of them and tell you what we like and dislike. And then at the end of the video, we're going to tell you which Marvel Villainous expansion you should get. So stay tuned for that because it's kind of shocking, but it's going to be cool. But to start off, we'll start with King the Conqueror. This is one of the newest characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for who are watching the movies. We have first seen him in Loki. Yeah. And also now in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium. And he is so cool in those videos, in those movies and show. And I think we both were pretty excited to see what they're going to do with him. And so like his title says, King the Conqueror, his objective is to go and conquer 4 spots in other people's dominions. And this is basically done by having one of your variants be in their dominion, and then you play a card, and then you basically can conquer it.
Yeah, what's really cool about it is that King's cards go into everybody's decks.
Yeah, it's kind of sick. So it's like they're in your world.
Yeah, and so when you pull his card, you have to play him. Mm-hmm. And I thought this was a really good, because if you know King and kind of his story, he is everywhere. He has all these different versions of him, and this just played off that really well.
It was really cool. And then a cool part is you see the variants that are going to be the most prominent in the future videos. Mm-hmm. It goes over the Council of King variants, which
you see in Quantumania, spoiler alert.
And so it's pretty cool. And so honestly, I think just the mechanism of that, and then also you can get these specialty cards that let you go to places you've conquered. So you can leave your dominion, which is so cool.
It's similar to which box is it? The Loki box?
The Loki box.
Because in that one, you can also do that.
No, you can also, there's just other variants. You can't go to other realms, but there's also other variants. And I just think that he's a really good, tension builder in the game because, he's really noticeable on all fronts.
All you have to do is get 4 places conquered.
Yeah, it's not that hard, but so that's why everyone has to be smart about what they're playing because they have to take down your variants before you do. And so it's really hard sometimes to play against him, I feel because he goes so quick and so fast and he's just moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he doesn't feel overpowered.
Yeah.
I think with everybody being able to see,
you're very aware of
then you get pushed back quite a lot.
True. The next character is Titania, and she has one of the coolest new mechanisms, I feel like. I don't know how you feel about it, but her mover, so her pawn, she can use it to vanquish enemies.
Yeah, it's actually really helpful because as you move through the game, she gains strength. And so if you have a hero played in your dominion of 5 and she's at 4, and you have an ally with 1 more, then it can be vanquished. So those allies that have minimal power really are powerful because Titania is able to add her strength to that.
Yeah, it's really awesome, honestly. It's it's the first time this has kind of been introduced into the game because there's Star Wars and there's Disney, and there's so many of all of them. I thought it was really, really smart of how they did it. The other cool part is I think they have a lot of good combos in their cards. If you play this card and this card together, they really kind of yin and yang each other.
Yeah.
And it's really awesome to watch yourself kind of progress because basically you have to defeat She-Hulk.
But you have to gain enough power to be able to defeat She-Hulk.
Yeah.
So you have a power tracker tracking each like power up, and then you have to find She-Hulk and defeat her.
Yeah, it's really simple, but to get up, because you can only gain strength, so you can only go up your tracker if you defeat someone who has the same or more strength than you. And so it's really hard to get cards like that. So you have to kind of use these cards to kind of balance it. And sometimes people don't play any cards against you, so you have to basically make your own way to do it. And it's really fun to try to figure out if you're going to make it or not, because no one is fading you, and it's really hard sometimes.
The next character is Dr. Octopus, or Doc Ock, and he works as, you have these scheme cards, and each scheme is like a mini task. And once you complete five tasks, 5 schemes, then you win. But I liked this character a lot. I think he was my favorite out of the box, just because it was constantly trying to grow my Dominion, my board, to how I could complete a scheme. So sometimes I'd be trying to get all allies on the bottom of my board, or all items, but it doesn't always go to plan, but you can always be working towards something, which I like.
Yeah, it's true. This one's very similar to Pete in the Disney Villainous, where you have tasks or objectives you have to do. But I think these ones are almost a step harder, just because you have so much you basically have to do, and you have to get to 5 of them instead of 4. The other thing I feel like is they're quite visual, because there's one of them, it's like you have to have no heroes and pay 10 coins. Well, everyone can tell if you're going for 10 coins. It's not that hard to tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The other thing is also like if you're getting all allies or all items, it's also pretty easy to tell. And so I think it really adds to the complexity of it. Of like, well, is someone gonna fate me? How is that gonna affect me? And like trying to protect yourself to make sure you have a couple schemes going at the same time.
Yeah.
Which I think is really fun, but I think it's probably it's the most stressful character in the box, because every fate card almost destroys the scheme you're working on.
That's true, but there are a lot of cards that allow you to pull schemes from the deck or the discard.
That's true. They do get you back.
So there is like a redemption piece to that.
That is true. The other thing I liked about it was I feel like this game kind of started to introduce table talk to the game. Because there's a little bit of talking going around, where I feel like with most Villainous, it's kind of like you stick to your own. And if you get faded, I'm gonna say I hate you, and then that's it. Where this one, there's a lot of please don't do me, do it on King, like you had to defeat his variant instead, and like you're trying to like manage that. True.
There is a lot of working together, and then not working together. It's like this weird medium place where you're trying to win, but you're also trying to not allow other people to win. So you're trying to make alliances. But I think that what makes this box so great is that they all work together very well. They're very well balanced together. I didn't feel, because we played all of them.
Yeah, we played like each single person. Yeah. And
they all can be played against each other.
Yeah, and there was like no character that won every time. If you play this character, they're gonna win.
Yeah.
Like they all, like it always just changed. And honestly, like that's why I think that this is the best Marvel Villainous box. And like that's just the truth. Like I genuinely think that like the main box is it's pretty good. Like, you get a lot of characters.
This is the best box.
But yeah, like this is the best box. It's the most balanced. It has the best mechanisms, and I think it just is the most. It's just the most fun to play with them. The other ones are like.
There's good things about each box, but I feel like this one really.
Each character I would love to play with.
Yeah.
Like literally each character is so much fun. And like I would love to see some mashups between some of these characters. Like I think Loki versus Kang
would be so interesting.
Would be so weird. It'd be so fun. Or like even Thanos. Like that would be cool too, because you have to like go get the stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
The Infinity Stones. But I just think that I don't know. I think they did a really great job play testing this game, getting out all the kinks. They did a really great job. I think they really hammered it out. And like, if I had to suggest any box, I think it'd be this one. And like also all Villainous.
Okay, I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if you're gonna get any Villainous at all, like honestly, start with this one.
Or actually, like, maybe even the bigger or badder box. That's the one that's like the Pixar box.
Oh, yeah.
That one is really good, actually. And, like, it's really balanced. Like I said, like, that's like the biggest thing is, like, sometimes you get a box and it's not balanced. And, like, that's fine because you can balance it with other characters, but, like, it's supposed to be a expand-alone game, which is it's expansion, but it's also standalone. So it's like you have to think of it like this is its own game sometimes. And so, like, that's like the hard part about Villainous that I feel like. I've played a lot of Villainous. I own every single box. I'm not even kidding you. And I played with every single character. Like, I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I do say I know what I'm talking about. And there just are just some that just don't work. And this one works really, really well. And honestly, like, I'm going to call her out. Monique didn't like Villainous really that much.
It's probably one of my least favorite games, but this box redeemed Villainous for me, I would say. Because otherwise, I don't know, there's a lot of mechanisms or like pieces of the game that I don't particularly enjoy, but this box I feel like fixed that for me. Just like you said, like the table talk that was kind of introduced, and then like each character just having such a unique like way to play,
ability, yeah.
but it being balanced, and so for me it redeemed it.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to add is about player count and time.
Oh my.
Player count. The player count for this game should be never more than 4. 4 is the max.
And that's why I said oh my, because the game time literally...
The box says 20 minutes per player. It's more like 30 minutes or 40 minutes per player.
Depending if you're playing the character for the first time or not. If you're playing for the first time, you better expect a really long game.
Yeah, I think it's maybe like 25 minutes if both of you, per player, if both of you played the game, that person before.
And you've
30
played
to 35
each other.
minutes. Yeah, you play each other. That's true. Because the game gets really good when you know how everyone else works, because then you know how to stop them. And like the game can feel like it drags on, but I feel like this box, it was pretty easy to end it.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it just kept going and it's just like, no, it did have an end and it was nice. Because there are some combinations of characters that it's just like, well, if I just keep fading you, then the game just keeps going. And it's just really, it's just really hard to get out of it. But yeah, that's what we think. I think this is a really great game and a really great box of Villainous. And I can't wait to match it up with the other ones.
Yeah.
We haven't matched them up with any other boxes yet, just because we've really hammered out each character and trying to find out what we like and what we don't like about it. And there's a lot to love. But anyway, we like to say thank you guys for watching. And we like to say thank you guys for subscribing. We're so grateful for this journey we've been on together. It's just been so much fun to make these videos, and we're just so grateful. Remember, there's a giveaway coming up at 1,000 subscribers. You guys already know about it.
Don't forget.
Just reminding you, just for fun. But anyway, leave a comment down below of your favorite Villainous character and why. And who do you think that they match up against the best? Because we're looking for 2-player combinations to play, and we want to know what your favorite is. So let us know down below, and hit this like button, turn on the notification bell, get ready for our next couple videos. They're going to be awesome. And we'll see you guys next time.
Called Twisted Ambitions.
How did you remember that?
I just looked at the box.